All right, good morning. Welcome back to another episode of Knicks Morning Coffee Recap. All right, today everybody can breathe with a big sigh of relief. The Knicks finally did it. First time since 1999 that we're going to the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, we know we had a nice shot in 2013 with Melo and the veteran guys on our team, but we ran into a lot of injuries and we ran into a hungry Indiana Pacers team. Well, this year, hopefully it'll be different because remember, Indiana knocked us out last year. So we can't have that. Now the stakes are higher because the winner goes on to the NBA championship. And we gotta love what we saw last night from all of our guys that played from top to bottom. We gotta also still tip our hat to the captain, Jalen Brunson. Again, put us on his back, refused to let us lose, and we just came out of the gate hungry and ready to play a full 48 minutes. And this is probably the first 48 minutes that we played in the whole entire playoffs this season. So Brunson was the catalyst, but what we needed and we got was from Karl Anthony Towns. You know, he showed up last night. He played like a center. He played like a big man. He didn't just settle for the three, and he wouldn't allow them to push him around in the paint. And I would still like to see a little bit more consistency down there, but this is what we're going to need to advance. All right, we need both our superstars to be just what they are, superstars. And when you add in the other pieces of Mikal and OG showing up, it just makes us that much more a harder team to contend with. And we can't worry about what Boston was going through with their injuries. After what they did to us the other night, they proved that they're still a capable team of winning it all. But when it comes down to the Knicks and everybody being on the same page and playing to their potential, then there's no way these teams can beat us. So what I was also happy about was that, you know, Josh Hart was able to go back into his familiar role. He led us in scoring the other night in a loss, and that you're not going to win that way. But him being that swift army knife that sort of like supplements what everybody else do, that's the kind of stuff that we need. You know, we need OG and Bridges to be who they are, and we need Hart to be the facilitator and the guy that goes out and get the garbage. And that's exactly what he did last night. So, you know, Towns and Brunson, you know, kudos to them for stepping up the way that they did. And then the supporting cast, as Shaq would say, the others stepped up and played their game. Now, we have to give Boston credit for they live and die by the three, and last night they died by it. You know, the other night they just tore us apart, moving the ball, moving themselves, getting to the open man and knocking it down. But sometimes, like they say, it's a miss or make lead, and that's what they live by. So they went out the same way they came in. You know, they just shot the ball. They just was missing wide open threes. You know, sometimes the guys just don't let you fall that way, and it didn't. So the Knicks, we stayed with it. We stayed hungry, and we did get after a lot of those threes, but they just wasn't making them last night. So whatever Tibbs' game plan really was going in, it was nice that the players bought into that and they got their psyche right and played the full 48 minutes. Now, I'm not even going to jump into the next series because for me, I'm going to savor this time for today and maybe even tomorrow. And then, you know, get back at it and what we got to do in the next series. But this is a milestone. We can't take nothing away from, you know, jumping too far ahead. We haven't been here in almost over 25 years. And we can't say that we didn't have a team good enough to get here. But when you put all the ingredients together that go into a good team, then so I got to, you know, at my age and my time with the Knicks, I got to savor it, you know, and I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy every bit of it. I'm going to probably watch the game again at some point today. But I just want everybody to know that, you know, the Knicks are for real. You take that cloud over your head. Stop thinking about what we can't do and start thinking about what we can do. Because at full strength and everybody, you know, in their right mind frame, the sky definitely now is the limit. We can see it. You know, we can see it and we can smell it. And we're going to, hopefully the guys go home last night, celebrate it, maybe even celebrate a little bit more today, and then jump right back into it Sunday and then get their mind right and bodies right again. But for us as fans, you know, we might as well enjoy this because it don't come around that often for us, and you ain't never promised to get back there again. Now, also the beauty of getting this far is that in the past few years, we were a 4th seed, 2nd seed, 3rd seed, and then I believe we were another 4th or 5th seed. So that alone shows that we've been a good team now for the past several years. And now it's all starting to roll up and fall together, regardless of what the other teams do. You know, we stuck together with a group of guys, pick and plugging here and there. And now we got what we need. You know, Mitch is the oldest player on our team in terms of being a Knick. And we need Mitch to do what we got to do. That two-headed monster of Towns and Mitchell Robinson is causing problems. I mean, if you're just looking at how they're learning to play together and they're spacing on the floor, and the rebounds that we're able to get while one is contesting the shot, the other one can get the boards. So that's also helping us. It's little intangibles in the game that you see. OG, coming down, not settling just for the jumper, but keeping his dribble alive to get that man down and up in the air. Now we're able to get them in foul trouble. We're able to do things that winning basketball teams do. And Tibbs, thank you for getting us this far. But the onus really, to me, it goes on the players, because the players got to buy in and the players got to execute. Because without that, you don't got nothing. And then even when you saw James Dolan sitting there on the sideline, he never changes his mood during a game. But it'd been nice even to see him, get up and high five a couple players, because this is your team. You allowed the front office to do what they had to do and keep this team together. And as people normally would say, stop meddling. I never really bought into all that myself, but and let the coaches and the administration do their job, and that seems like what he has been doing. So the whole organization should be proud of themselves for us to get to the Eastern Conference Finals, and then we know the job is not done, but savoring today is, and that's what we are going to do. All right. The only thing that could have made it better for me is that if the Mets would have beat the Yankees last night, but we lost, but it's okay. We got them again today. All right. So next time, we're going to see each other before Wednesday's game so we can dissect the Indiana game. But for right now, we're going to enjoy this win. Knick family, peace.